Hi, shalom friends. You know, human emotions are very complex. Let me illustrate. How difficult is it to receive a gift? It should be very simple. Someone gives you something, you say thank you, and either you use it, give it away, or throw it out. I mean, what's complicated about it? And yet, for many of us, receiving a gift, it's like we're shy. No, you didn't have to. You shouldn't have done it. And you would think to yourself, what's the complication about it? And then the person giving the gift, they could sometimes spend hours trying to find the right gift. What do you mean the right gift? All you want to do is say that I thought about you. So what happens if you get the wrong gift? What's the worst thing that could happen? Nothing. That person, again, will give it away, throw it out, or use it. That's all. And yet we know it's fraught with a lot of emotion. We love giving a gift. Honestly, not only receiving the gift, we actually have tremendous enjoyment in buying a gift to someone that we love. And then what happens if that person says, I don't want to take your gift? Suddenly we're insulted. I mean, why are we insulted? All you have to do is give it back and you get a refund. You didn't lose any money. Or if it is a loss of money, you use it. But no, they didn't take my gift. So you got to ask yourself a question like, what is going on over here? As a matter of fact, even if you tell a person, you know, my birthday is coming up, but please don't get me anything, often the person hearing that feels insulted. And all you're trying to do is help them avoid spending the time and effort and money to get a gift. So clearly there's a lot going on with gifting and receiving gifts. Now we could go into this and with some psychological babble or drivel or even insights, but I'd like to approach it from a slightly different form, and that is, as Jewish people, what can we learn from this complicated, complex issue of gift giving? And it occurred to me that perhaps it is to teach us something fundamental about us and God. You see, God gives us a gift every day. The here and the now is called the present. And people have pointed out, present, that's a gift. So God gives us a gift. He gives us a present daily. What happens when you give a gift to someone and that person says, I don't want it, or I don't appreciate it, or they throw it out in front of your eyes? It hurts you. Maybe God is trying to teach us that He gives us the gift of all gifts, custom made. No two people have exactly the same day. Yeah, we share the same sun, but no one has exactly the same day. That means He custom made the gift of the present. He would certainly appreciate if we were to say thank you, to show a little gratitude. God forbid to waste a day. That's throwing out a present. But one second. If we're going to use this as an idea of God giving us a present, one second, we know in human relations that if all you do is give a present, but you tell that person, I don't want to receive a present, it's unequal. And more often than not, the person will say, I don't want your present either. In other words, I will take a gift from you, but allow me the privilege to give you back a gift. If it's only one-sided, I don't know if I want to receive the gift. Well, if we're going to apply this between man and God, He gives us a gift. What can we give God as a gift? So I'm going to share with you two stories. The first from our holy leader, the Lubavitcher Rabbi. A lady comes to the Rebbe, at least so, if I recall correctly, from the Jewish educational media, and she's there with her husband, and she says, you know, my father is in a senior home, old age home in Florida, and he's healthy, but he has no zest for life. He's depressed. I come and visit him as often as possible, and he says to me, why am I living? What am I doing? I'm not useful. I'm not productive. So what's the use of just living another day? Rabbi, what should I tell him? What can I tell him to uplift him, to make him feel important again? And the Rebbe, with utmost seriousness, looks at her and says, tell him, every day that he puts on tefillin, he is giving a gift to God. Wow! Could you imagine giving a gift to God? Yes. For every day you put on tefillin, every day you make a blessing, every day you eat kosher, every day you do something for God, you're giving him a gift. What a beautiful relationship. He gives us a present, which is the present, and we give him back a gift, a good deed, a connection, a virtuous act. Well, this sounds really very nice, but what happens if you don't want to give him a present and he's giving you the gift? How do we equalize it? I say the word equalize, it's just a figure of speech. So I'll tell you another story from a very talented rabbi and an outreach professional who lived in Monsey, New York, Israel Tauber. And this is a story that he tells. He had a Shabbaton for a group of young adults. And many of these young adults had grown up actually in Monsey, but sort of drifted away from Judaism. And there were a fair amount, or a group, that had never really experienced Shabbos. And this Rabbi Tauber, I think he's a Mr. Tauber, but he actually is a rabbi. He's very talented, very smart, and very sincere. And he has a way of teaching that has brought back many. So he made a Shabbaton for this beautiful group of young men. And the food was delicious, and he was telling stories and offering thoughts. In short, they had a wonderful time. And perhaps the most powerful part of the whole Friday night dinner was total acceptance. He just accepted them the way they were. I want you to absorb, enjoy, no commitment necessary. They had such a good time that after the meal, they sat down on the couch and they were reading and schmoozing along one another. And one of the young men takes out a pack of cigarettes and begins to smoke. Now, this is in the days when smoking was still PC. The rabbi is shocked. He just got through a Shabbos meal, talking about the holiness of the day and the virtue of not working. And here's a guy who's actually breaking it. Now, he understood it wasn't deliberate. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful. But without thinking, after a good meal, he's relaxing with his friends. He's smoking. And the rabbi is breaking his head. What can I say to him without judging him harshly, without making him embarrassed, and without ruining the whole thing? Not saying anything is not an option. You're not allowed to smoke on Shabbos, not in my house, not after I talk about Shabbos. And he thought of something amazing. He went over to him. He said, Bruce, are you a good-natured guy? He said, I don't know, I guess I'm pretty nice. He said, if someone asked you for a cigarette, would you give it? He said, yeah, sure, I would do that. He says, what happens if that someone was actually God? If God asked you to give him a cigarette, would you give him? He laughs, Rabbi, God hasn't asked me for a cigarette, but if he did, I would gladly give it. To which the rabbi then said, tonight's Friday night. God is asking for your cigarette. And that just put everything in such a beautiful way. By him not smoking, he's giving God a gift. So friends, most people enjoy giving gifts. Most people enjoy receiving gifts. We have a great holy God who gives us gifts daily. God has a great and a holy people that reciprocate. Let's strengthen this relationship. Let's celebrate this relationship. And in the merit of that, we will certainly be able to receive even holier and more awesome gifts with the coming of Mashiach. Amen.